What's up, CCMers? With me today is voice program alumna, singer, actor, model, business mogul, Vaishali Sanas. Welcome.
Thank you, Chris.
So you've got you got a new song out. Tell us about it.
Yes, it's called Like a Lady. Um, I wrote this song like really long time back when I was studying here in David's class, and it's amazing that the whole CCM was involved in my song.
How so? Tell us about it.
So I wrote the song, the chords. My classmates Nicholas Cobo and Andre, they did the melody part. I mean, we co-wrote the song. Then Bobby was my vocal coach then, and then he helped me produce it. George helped me mix and master, and I wrote the song in David's class. So yeah, basically the entire song. And it's just amazing that my journey started from CCM in US, in LA, and it's just so nostalgic to when I was releasing this. I procrastinated so many years, and then pandemic and whatnot, and I was like, oh, this is a very cliche song, like a lady. It's like, talking about heartbreak and just cliche stuff. And I procrastinated this for so long because that was my first song I ever wrote. And I never even knew before that I can write a song. And David kind of encouraged me, and of course you and Daniel then. And when I wrote this song, I was like, okay, I might release this someday. But then my friends started listening to this song, and they were like, you should just start somewhere and release it. And then I was like, okay, here I go. I'm just gonna start with this. And I released it this year. I shot a music video for that, which I really love it. Yes, I'm really grateful for CCM, to you and everybody involved, my co-writers, my teachers, everybody from CCM. So I'm happy and I'm honored to be here now sitting with you.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and something that I think is really important that you brought up is the fact that you started in the voice program, but since you're interacting with all kinds of other, students, instructors, and things like this, it ends up being a sort of group effort to put something together. You end up being exposed to and tipping your toes in the water in new musical arenas. Like you said, maybe discovering things about your artistry that maybe you didn't know you were capable of, and now expanding your sort of set of tools. So tell us about maybe some of your collaborators, people like Nick and Andre and people like this, and kind of what was the genesis of the song? How did it all start? You said you wrote it in a songwriting class, right? Do you remember the assignment? Tell us a little bit about the origin story of the song.
That's a good question. I think David had asked us to, start somewhere, right? What you're going through, what you're feeling, or what you felt, in past few months. Or I think this song is, I think I was going through a breakup or something, but it was a culmination of multiple feelings I was going through in a new country and whatnot. And that was the immediate feeling I had. And then he asked us to group among each other, and then I think I was like, okay, Nick, Andre, I'm gonna try and write a song. And then when he grouped us later on, I just came up with the lyrics, somehow. And then I told them, how do you like these lyrics? They did add some of their parts, and then we made up a melody. They're so talented. Andre and Nicholas, both strings players, and they did such a great job with the melody because I didn't really know how to sing it. I could portray my feelings, but I didn't know how to frame it, and they did a great job.
So in terms of the singing part of it, knowing your story, I mean, you kind of came here from a Carnatic music background,
Hindustani classical,
right,
yeah,
and then started kind of training as a Western pop vocalist. I mean, was that sort of crossover between your two lived experiences part of the creation of the song? Was that like a goal that you set in creating the music for this?
Yeah, actually, that was the seed. Because I studied Hindustani classical back with my teacher Swapnaja ma'am, and for 10 years I had been working with her. But then I was like, one day I was watching this music video of an Indian girl making English music, and I was like, oh, she can do it. I want to do it. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to US, find out some college, and do something. And I came on backpacking tour before joining CCM, and I'm just glad I bumped into CCM online. I was doing some research, and and then you guys connected with me, and that was a seed, and that was like, okay, I want to get in my culture to US, what I can do unique. And then I started including Indian elements, and that's how in this song, Like a Lady, I've included sitar and tabla, which Bobby did a great job, adding these elements to my music. And yeah, moving forward, that's what I want to do. I want to bridge these gaps, also encourage uh, students, the youth from India to to take actions, or to encourage themselves to join, for example, CCM or any college, or for that matter, and just do something towards their dreams, especially girls. It's not rocket science to come here and join a college and create music and live their passion. So whatever I can do to contribute to that.
So tell us a little bit about the song itself. You mentioned that there's, like Indian instruments like sitar and tabla and things like this. Tell us about, you mentioned cliche topics, but I would say that, cliche might be harsh. I would say,
Yeah.
Universal is probably maybe
Okay.
a term I would use, to describe something that, we all experience, I would imagine, at some points of our lives, being disrespected and, things like this, or having, maybe people not treat you the way you feel
Yeah.
you should be. So maybe you'd mentioned you might have been going through a breakup or something at the time. Tell us kind of what you're trying to say in the song. Like, what's kind of the big takeaway that you want listeners to have when they're hearing your lyrics sung?
Yeah, the word love, which is, usually used, or most of the songs are, but the loving yourself, loving myself was the main core of this song. It was like standing up for your self respect, and, yeah, kindness is important, empathy is important, but we got to understand where to draw a line wherein okay, now it's enough, and I got to be treated in a certain way, and I cannot. The lyrics say treat me like a lady, which means is like don't take me for granted in certain ways. And yeah, so the song, answer to your question, the song is about standing up for yourself, respecting where you are from. I'm from, from this beautiful Indian culture, Indian society. So that's why trying to include Indian music, showing who I am, and standing up for myself.
Which is something that I think we should all take a lesson from. But talk about your experience, coming to the States. Like what part of India are you from for the viewers, and what was your sort of year at CCM like? Getting used to not just America but Los Angeles as its own sort of quirky subsection of America. Maybe tell us about like what that year at CCM was like for you personally, and kind of maybe how being somebody studying abroad, how that influenced, let's say, your songwriting and your music making in the future.
Yeah, sure. I come from the city of dreams, Mumbai. The entertainment and the financial place. It's like kind of mixture of LA and New York. So just coming from one city of dreams to another city of dreams, city of angels, it was exciting, overwhelming in the beginning because I didn't know what this, because you tend to live in your cocoon when you're in your own country, when you have never traveled. I mean, I did travel Europe and all of that, but not really living abroad. And when I came here, there was this new freedom which I had got in my life, and especially as a girl, this freedom was amazing for me. This kind of gave wings to my creativity in a way that I was able to explore myself, explore my identity, at the same time present my culture, and know so many people. I remember I did record a cover song in the studio here where Marianne, Bruno, BJ, everyone they're in my music video, and when I always see that video, that clip, I feel like in this frame there are multicultural people. One from Brazil, Spain, Nigeria, Colombia, India, and it's like CCM was the place for global meltdown. It's like there I learned how to accept cultures from different backgrounds and at the same time have my own identity. And I think that gave me the freedom to express who I am and not try to fit in somewhere, neither the LA culture nor in the Indian frame. And it just gave me a new life.
And that's great to hear, because something we're trying to foster here at CCM is this training in, foundational skills that are sort of universally applicable to whatever sort of music people want to make, but also give people the room to express themselves, find their voice, and, have opportunities to really showcase it, because we're small enough where, you're going to have ample opportunities for feedback, for, getting on stage, getting contact hours and stuff like this, and, not just be a face in a crowd lost in a huge lecture hall. And so it's great that, what I always also found amazing about CCM is that everybody somehow, some way just clicked. There was a really supportive environment, especially your class had, again, like you said, people from all over the place, and we all learned a lot from each other during that time. And I think it makes us more well-rounded musicians, of course, but also just, more well-rounded people that have, more lived experience to talk about, write about, sing about, in our music. So it's great to hear that confirmed.
Yeah, in my class, I remember there were only just few Americans, and it was the whole class was just from different nationalities, and it was just amazing. I remember collaborating with so many people, including their music. We did a cover song wherein a little bit of Brazilian touch was added by Bruno. We did I did something with Nicholas Cobo, and then me and Marianne would just keep humming some Spanish and some Indian stuff here and there, and it was just amazing. It was the seed for my creativity.
So where can we find the song? Give us some links to your socials and things like this. Where can people listen to Like a Lady?
Yeah, sure. I do have a YouTube channel which is called The Vaishali Sanas, TheVaishali SANAS. That's a long name.
We'll put it in the link below. Yeah.
But my name and the before, and my Instagram is also that, so you will find the link on the bio. I am on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, worldwide. All the platforms, the audio and the video on YouTube.
Terrific. And any sort of words of wisdom or advice you want to impart to people like you brought up earlier, who maybe are some like high school Indian girl who has that itch they need to scratch to follow their passions and make it happen for themselves? Anything you want to say to people like yourself, looking back?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking me that. I do want to encourage all the girls, especially also the youth. You are our future, and I believe if you're able to express your talents, your passion, your creativity, this is gonna be the biggest service back to the society and to this whole world. And I kind of follow Buddhist philosophy, which focuses on Kozen Rufu, which means world peace. And where you start is where you are, creating joy and creating dreams where you are. And when you're able to express your own art, is where you start world peace. If you feel the love for yourself, for the people around, that's where you start, and freedom and your creativity is going to make that happen. And this is not rocket science. Anywhere, any person from India, from Brazil, from Colombia, anywhere, if you have dreams, dream bigger and just take actions. Get up and act. That's what I have a saying on my wall which says get up and act. Until unless you act on your dreams, this is not going to happen. So take those steps and just make it happen. It will happen.
Make your dreams happen at California College of Music. You heard it here first. Vaishali Sanas, thank you so much for coming by.
Chris Kapica, thank you so much.